Welcome to Conversations Live. For more than a decade, we've brought you the best in books, entertainment, celebrity interviews, and current events. When the movers and shakers of the world have something to say to you, they say it to us first. Here's your host, Cyrus Webb.
And welcome back, everyone, to Conversations Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again, but for a radio audience here in Mississippi at WYAD 94.1 FM and WYADonline.com. We're glad that you all could be here. Also, just tuning in to our friends at iHeartRadio and Amazon Music Podcast. We're glad you all could be with us as well. Well, as we know, there have been a lot of things that have been impacting our health, and the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic, as well as a growing demand for plasma-derived therapies and other factors, have increased an urgent need for human plasma donations to produce life-saving medicines for people with serious and rare diseases. Joining us today to talk about the benefits of plasma donations and as well as who can donate, we're excited to welcome Dr. Jennifer Haynes, the Division Medical Center for CSL Plasma, as well as Megan Ryan, who will be sharing her own personal journey. Thanks to the two of you for the time. Really appreciate it.
Dr.
Haynes, I want to begin with you. I mean, as I mentioned, there are a lot of things that have been going on in the world that have made these donations so important, but why is donating plasma important for our audience to know about?
You're right. COVID-19 has brought about so many different challenges, and you're correct that there is an urgent need for plasma donation. The reason is that plasma is used to make life-saving therapies for people all around the world with immune deficiency disorders, bleeding disorders. A common one that you may have heard of is hemophilia. But to treat one person with that bleeding disorder, hemophilia, for a year, it can take more than 1,000 plasma donations to do so. So it's a lot different than donating blood because parts of the plasma are then used to make these life-saving therapies. So a lot of people really depend on these medications in order to live a healthy life.
And Dr. Haynes, when we're talking about this, what conditions do plasma-based therapies treat?
Thank you. That's a great question. So a lot of rare and serious disorders, like some inherited respiratory disorders, problems with the immune system, bleeding disorders, but it can also be used for people that don't have chronic and serious diseases, such as if, any of us had a severe burn today or a really bad car accident or other trauma. Sometimes even in those cases, plasma-derived therapies are used for treatment as well. So while people with life-threatening and serious disorders depend on our weekly medications in order to live a normal life, many of us could use plasma, today or a loved one. I hope we don't, but it's there if we do need it.
Megan, I want to bring you into the conversation, and thank you so much for being with us. Can you talk to us about your condition and describe how it affects your daily life?
Well, I live with a primary immune deficiency disease called common variable immune deficiency. It's one of more than 400 identified primary immune deficiency diseases. And what it means is there's a missing or absent part of my immune system that causes me to live with potentially persistent and frequent infections. So I've lived with this diagnosis my entire adult life, so more than 20 years. I've had some ups and downs along the way with various infections, and so I manage it through receiving weekly infusions of a product derived from plasma donations.
So we can definitely see then the benefits of these plasma donations for sure. So Dr. Haynes, this brings up a couple of interesting points here, but I think the main one is, as we're talking about the importance of these plasma donations, we definitely want to talk about who can donate. So who can donate plasma, and what are the requirements to do that?
Sure. We'd like for you to be generally healthy. You need to be at least 18 years old and weigh at least 110 pounds. So these requirements loop in a lot of us, right, to meet those requirements to donate. You can learn more about donating at CSLPlasma.com, or we've got a convenient donor app. It's a red square with a white CSL in the middle. So donating plasma can be done up to 2 times per week, and you are paid for that. So we've got several locations in the area. We've got 2 in Jackson, Decatur, East Point. And for all your listeners on iHeart, we've got more than 300 locations all across the United States. So it's definitely worth your time to check out CSLPlasma.com to find a donation center near you.
That's right. And I think I had those letters misaligned earlier. We'll make sure that we get that fixed for our audience as well. Megan, I want to ask you this question. What would you say, based on your own experience, what would you say to others to encourage plasma donations?
Well, for me, there's no other alternative available treatment to treat my condition. So plasma-derived products are really important to me. People living with rare diseases or chronic diseases like mine depend on plasma donors and that plasma product to be able to produce our medications. So all of our plasma donors have a direct impact on their community by donating plasma and supporting those living with chronic and rare diseases or those who may be impacted by something like a burn or trauma. So because they're used in so many different conditions, it's possible that someone in your life has had to use one of these products, or you know someone who's living with an immune deficiency like me who uses them on a weekly basis.
Well, Megan, thank you so much for sharing your story. I really appreciate the time. Dr. Haynes, appreciate you being with us as well. Again, everyone, Dr. Jennifer Haynes, the Division Medical Director for CSL Plasma, as well as Megan Ryan sharing her story, talking about the importance and the benefits of plasma donations. That website Dr. Haynes gave out again was cslplasma.com. Again, it's cslplasma.com. We'll link that up for our audience joining us online, and for those tuning in on the radio side here in Mississippi, we'll put that on our Facebook page. And it goes without saying, the two of you are welcome back here anytime.
Sounds great. Thank you so much, Cyrus.
Hey, more than welcome. Thank you. And we thank your audience for tuning in to another great segment of Conversations Live. Until next time, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Live. Now let's go make today amazing. Take care.